only sure some cheapskates around here, but whatever. Yeah, coming right up. And
Right, I'm back.
okay, everything all right now with you?
Yeah, I spilled lemonade on my laptop.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, I'll come back to you in a second. So yeah, he brings. Okay, so he brings the drinks and the water over at the table. And at that moment, last but not least, another person enters the tavern. So, Daryl, what does your character look like?
My character is a female black dragonborn by the name of Havel. She is a sorcerer. Sorry. She is a sorcerer. Quite posh, but normal looking robes. No hair,
Normal looking?
not fancy.
Okay.
Blue robes.
Okay. Now I'm just asking out of character, you as a player. You know the significance between chromatic and metallic dragons?
No.
Okay. Okay, do you have a reason why you picked the color black? Sounded cool.
Yeah, it sounded cool. I like the acid part. There's not a lot of acid.
Okay. Then out of character. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, usually it's like this: the color dragons are evil, and the metallic dragons are good. But not in this universe and not on this evening. In this evening, each dragon is an individual, and his alignment and stuff is not at all codified by his color, and you just happen to be a black dragonborn. But
damn, that's a sick coincidence.
Yeah, lucky coincidence. That's like how it works in this universe. But just in general, like usually in D&D, the colorful like black, green, blue, and stuff are all evil most of the time. Okay,
fair enough.
That was why I was asking.
That's fine.
Okay, and speaking of coincidences, funnily, just right behind you, as you enter, a little halfling with who has some brown robes and little glasses on his nose and already gray hair. He's the others you maybe didn't even spot him, since he's like a quarter of the size of a freaking dragonborn.
Sorry. Can I ask a short question out of character?
Sure.
So about the icons.
Yeah.
So the guy next to the dragon, that's who's that?
That's Gorek. That's
that's
Chris.
me. I meant the other one.
Yellow
on the other side, that's Brad Joel.
That's a cleric, right?
That's a fighter.
The fighter,
Okay.
and the brown guy with the same equipment as the cleric.
I mean, I think you didn't even go over classes yet. So you can do that stuff.
I'm just a bit confused. I guess the naked one is the half
wizard, elven wizard. With robes. So right? Basically,
I'm just having troubles distinguishing between the icons because those two look so similar.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, the classes might be different, but like just from the looks of it, we have two heavy armored human and one heavy armored dwarf. So so you don't necessarily, by the looks of it, get to know if you're like a cleric or wizard or paladin or whatever.
Yeah.
But maybe you can talk about that in character. Maybe you have a little bit strategic time for your first fight or something. Let's leave that for later on, okay? From the looks of it, so you're just black dragonborn with. Oh wait, I forgot what kind of clothes or weapon are you carrying?
I'm carrying a quarter staff
Okay.
and wearing blue robes.
Also robes, so kinda outing yourself as a spellcaster here as well.
Hmm.
And so behind your robes, you see this little halfling with, as I said, the glasses and the gray hair peeking around the corner, like, oh, splendid! Like nobody showed up so far, and then all of a sudden I got 5 interested people. And he like rushes over to the table and with a little bit of effort climbs onto a chair and then looks over to Helga. Oh, I assume you're interested in the job as well. Why don't you come over and take a seat?
I shall. You're very small, aren't you?
You know, that's a really offensive thing to say.
Is
I'm
it?
gonna start glaring at you.
I'm sorry, I never knew. I didn't mean to make an offense.
Apology accepted. It's all right. So yeah, basically, I'm here. We are doing some excavations, and we have found many wonderful artifacts already of historic and otherwise immense value. And basically, yeah, the job is like this. My friends are still out there in the digging site, and we were splitting the work a bit, and I was doing some research, and then the leader of the digging site, his name is Calador. He just sent me to organize a little bit more protection since he found something really awesome and valuable, and that's basically it. It's just half a day's journey. Something. Just go there, pick up whatever he found, and bring it back. Easy, no problems. And he quickly takes a look around. Yeah, you look like you could take a bunch of, like, if some goblins or bandits show up. But I think you're impressive enough. I don't expect that to happen.
You need not to worry. This will just be another walk in the park.
Ah, that's great to hear. Any questions so far?
Are you gonna hire us as donkeys or?
No. He didn't say anything about transportation, so I assume the artifact or something can be carried easily, I hope. Other than that, I mean, they had mules and everything there. No, just bodyguards, walk alongside and look impressive and dangerous.
Sounds
I
like
can
an
do
easy-
that.
And
Anyone with intelligence should recognize these roles. They should know they're not gonna mess with me. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, you look like that, yes. And yeah, I mean, as I said, if matters come to worse, I mean, I don't expect you, but if something happens, just protect us. But yeah.
So you're expecting bandits or
Sorry?
goblins, or
Can you repeat the question, please?
are you expecting bandits or
I mean,
goblins
I'm
or
not
animals,
expecting
or...
I'm not expecting anything, but I mean, it's the journey is like a few hours through the woods and stuff. Who knows what kind of...
It is best to expect the unexpected. That's the better way to look at it.
That would be good if you... I mean, I would more say, like, be prepared for the worst and be happy if it doesn't happen.
You said this artifact was of immeasurable wealth?
I mean...
Did Brad hear correctly?
Actually, I don't know what they found, to be precise, but he sounded very happy about it.
Well, we expect some good payment.
Oh yeah, damn
Brad
it! Of course. Yeah, damn it, of course. So, yeah, I'm authorized to offer 500 gold pieces.
Wow, that's a lot.
Oh snap!
Each?
So,
I'm guessing.
so out of character, yeah, that's like usually people have to work like more than a year to earn this money.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
Brad
good
is very happy.
And so yeah, they honestly he was like really short on the message, but you know, like sending that stupid spell with its word limit and stuff. But yeah, when I left them, they were like excavating this kind of temple. It was
Ooh, a temple.
yeah,
Sounds
kind of a
interesting.
weird temple. Sorry.
Sounds interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah, something about like secret to life and death and stuff like that. But you know, all these dark cults all the same. Not sure if they were onto something. But like very interesting what they had their take on. So yeah. I think this group is more than enough. So
Well,
if you
Hello, viewers.
finished your drinks. Oh wait, you didn't got anything.
Finally.
Oh, and Mr. Barkeeper, this young lady is all sitting there with a dry tongue. If that's an
Indeed.
expression.
Indeed. I would like a glass of your finest red wine, please. Has to be finest.
Oh,
Obviously.
a man of good taste, I see.
Man,
You are mad.
Oh, sorry. A woman of good taste, I see.
I should get up and slap you right now.
So
My humblest apologies. Let me pay for your wine now.
And you do so.
so with that order, the barkeeper vanishes behind the door again. So yeah, let's wait for that. But yeah, I would say we could just get up immediately and be done that with the whole thing before nightfall. If that works for you.
Well,
Yes,
we
please.
hope so.
Okay. Yeah, I can easily lead the way. Yeah, so
Do we have a map of this place? Oh, great.
No, you don't need a map. It's like, you know, you just go out the eastern gate, and then you have this path. And I mean, whatever. I'll lead you anyways. But yeah, then you travel just like eastern for 2 hours, and then there is like this big stone, and then there's this little pathway up to the north, and that leads you a little bit deeper into the forest, and then you're right there. You basically can't miss it.
Okay, shall we get some provisions?
Taking notes of this.
Okay.
Writing it down in great detail.
I mean, that's about as much detail as you got. As at least somewhat experienced adventurers, I assume you have at least a little bit of water and food to last you like 2 days.
Yeah.
I kind of assume you have that with you already. Unless you wanna. Does anybody of you want to do more exhaustive preparations for this trip?
I mean,
I showed up ready to go.
Okay.
I mean, if there's
Brad is always prepared.
Great to hear.
If they're sleeping through the night, then maybe a tent or something.
I mean, we should get back for the evening, but oh, I forgot. Like at first, we will also pass another. It used to be an inn, but now there's basically a house where my friends and colleagues sleep for the night. Or no, I mean, yeah. The temple still has a roof and stuff, so yeah, I don't think there's a need for a tent.
Okay, then I suppose we should go then.
All right. So in the meantime, the barkeeper has brought you your wine. It's definitely his finest. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Can you quickly tell me to which kind of wine your character is used to, or what did you expect?
I'm used to like fancy stuff, old, well-aged wine. So
Okay.
if this is some cheap thing, my character will like take a sip, immediately discover that this is not the kind of wine he's used to. Try to cover up his face and just go, "Thank you, sir. Delightful."
So yeah,
And
I mean it's not bad wine. It's just red
Right.
wine from last year's crop, and it's
Oh,
all right. It's all right, but it's nothing
decent.
nothing for your fine taste, I assume. Okay, so you just take a sip and then quickly stop drinking. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I try to like hide it behind my shoulder and just like try to sneakily like drip it down to the floor, make it look like a
Discharge it.
nice
Okay.
little.
Oh, okay. That asks for the first roll of the evening.
Yes.
Drums
Sleight of
roll.
hand.
Give me a stealth check.
Stealth check it is.
You try to do this discreetly and okay.
Wouldn't
Perfect.
that be a sleight of hand though?
It's the same stuff
Um,
anyway.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing. It spells from the dexterity anyway, so I got the same modifier.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, sometimes we can discuss about this, and I'm really
Yeah, I mean-
happy to explain stuff and discuss stuff. For this thing, I think it's more about doing it sneakily and more paying
Yeah.
attention that nobody watches you. You don't have to be actually very dexterous to just pour a drink.
Nah.
That's my
Sure.
opinion, and like in general, I don't think it's that important.
You're the DM, so that's the law.
Alright, fair enough, fair enough.
I'm just saying I'm happy to talk about
Yeah.
rules, but like not for something like this. Let's not
Yeah.
waste the time with that. So anyway, you pay close attention, and when they in a quick moment you find they have this pot where you can like put oh wait, do they even have umbrellas over there? Let's say there's a coat rack nearby and you pour it behind the coat rack and within arm's reach, and nobody notices anything. So you have a little bit of chit chat with that with Mr. Landy, and yeah, eventually everybody has finished their drink. The barkeeper just asks for 5 silver for the wine and the big mug of beer. The water's on the house, so and yeah, after you pay up, you are on the road.
Sweet, yay!
Mr. Mr. Landy, as he described the path, leads you down the road, and eventually the scene around you as you leave the proximity of the town, the scenery becomes wilder, and farmlands and meadows give way to thick and tangled forests. You even pass stretches of open moor. Some people tried to dry up that moor and convert it into farmland, but
Guessing that failed.
sorry, but like yeah, no, there were, you just see the remains and like the ruins of a farmhouse where they eventually had to give up. And eventually Landy declares that the inn will be just around the next bend in the path through the forest.
I will stop the party here and ask everyone, do we have like our strategic positions ready, or do we just want to go randomly? Like,
I mean, let's.
I mean,
Okay.
I just want to put up some kind of strategic movement when we're walking along the forest.
Okay, I
I'm
mean,
gonna
you
put-
can. Okay, maybe you talk. Okay, you spend like a few hours walking. So
Yeah.
let's say during your hike, you start a conversation about what their abilities are and how you would fight if it comes to battle. Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, exactly.
So why did you start? Why didn't you tell what you're capable of if something happens and push comes to shove?
I'm pretty good at the front, and I have some kind of or some healing abilities. That's all. But mostly I'm in front.
Okay. Oh, that sounds terribly useful.
Yeah, that's the efficient way to go about it, definitely. I agree with you. I'm also in the front.
I'm also in the front and have some healing abilities.
Oh,
That's
even
perfect.
oh.
No, I'm not. I'm not actually bothered where I go.
All right, I'll stay a couple of feet behind you guys. I'll keep you safe from a distance.
Oh, you okay? So keeping safe. So you also have some form of protection and healing magic.
Well, I mean, if when the opposition incinerates, I feel that you will be pretty safe.
Oh, I see. I see. Like burn first, ask questions never.
Well,
Is that what
if
you're
push
going
comes
with?
to shove, I'll let these fine gentlemen do the greetings and go from there.
Okay.
So I was wondering, Eldarin, why
Yeah.
are you naked?
Listen, I didn't work out all those days at the gym for nothing, okay? No, you see, I just feel that armor just slows you down, it weighs a lot, it's heavy, I get tired, I like to have the movement, I like to be free, I like to be ready.
Got some fair points you have.
Jeez.
But the sword to
Well-
the stomach would hurt, I think.
I prefer my armor. And
They
my
would have to
coat.
reach me first.
I think it is very distasteful, to be honest. Seeing half-naked man.
Well, it's a half-naked man, but he's fully beautiful, so
See, this man gets it.
Brad gets everything.
But if I don't want, I understand that this might be a distraction in a fight, so I can cover up if you want to keep your head straight.
Wouldn't be a distraction
if
to
you-
me.
And
Hello, viewers.
If we run into some lonely bandits who haven't seen a woman for some time, might be an advantage.
and wait, Halga was it, right?
Yes.
So what's your matter of expertise? How are you planning to face our adversaries? No, our enemies. Let's say that way.
Well, I tend to like to kind of set my people on fire.
Another one! Isn't that delightful? Okay.
Oh, it's either fire or maybe electrocute them if they come too close.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. I see. Okay. Does this satisfy your strategic needs, Morris?
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay. So, quick time jump again. You're walking through the thing, through the forest, and actually, nothing has been bothering you. Everything's been fine. And he just says, "Yeah. So, just around that next bend, is that inn where we usually spend the knights and stuff, and then the temple will be just a little bit behind there. And
That's pretty good.
yeah. I had a little bit trouble with pictures. So what you see is a 3-story building, and it's not like a regular inn. You see it's built like very sturdy, and it could almost be mistaken for a miniature fortress. Like, even from a distance you can see the door is really thick oak wood, and the windows in the ground floor are just slits with like reinforced windows and everything. But the oaken door from the entrance is currently swinging wide open, swinging in the wind, and you see the slumped form of a dead horse in the road before it. And where you assume the stables have been behind the building, or to the side of the building, there is only a smoldering pile of charred wood and bones. And you're currently approaching from a distance the scenery. Landy is just like, wait, fuck, oh my god, and just freezes on the spot. Not literally.
Okay,
What do you do?
now something has definitely happened here.
So is it smelly? Very, very smelly.
Give me a perception check.
Everyone or just
The person who asked about the smelly thing, so I assume
yeah.
you put your nose into the wind. Okay, 16, not too bad. So yeah, actually you get with a 16, yeah, you get the smell of rotten flesh, and the burnt down building. So it smells a little bit like barbecue, like burnt flesh as well. And yeah, it seems to be you smell a little bit more than just a dead horse.
Oh, it doesn't smell very nice. You guys go take a look. I can't bear to stand it no longer. Oh.
Could I, from a distance, try to see if it looks like there's been like a recent attack, or if the horses have been dead for a while?
I mean, the stables are still smoldering, and there's still a little bit smoke coming from it. And for the dead horse, it's hard to discern from a distance.
Yeah. All right.
Can I make a check if there are any footprints, cartwheels, or something like that leading to the scene?
Okay. One minor nitpick, more etiquette. Like, try to immerse more. Just tell me what your character does. I tell you if you do a check or not. So with that thing, that would be something where I personally don't ask for a check. I mean, yeah, it's Mr. Landy has told you that there have been lots of people around, and yeah, it looks like the roads that you're walking on has been recently in use. There are footprints in the mud in front of the inn. There you see tracks of the wheels of a wagon, and you can also spot the remains of a wagon in the smoldering pile. Yeah. There are like lots of shit ton of tracks all over the place.
Yeah, I'm specifically looking for recent tracks or heavy footprints or footprints of creatures, maybe.
Okay.
Anything that could explain who was attacking and where they went.
So I mean, for that you would have to get closer to the scenery. From the distance, you can't really spot that, answer that question. So are you going up to the tavern?
I'm hastily marching towards it. Like, it's all smoldering and smoking, right?
No, that the building is fine. There was a stable next to it.
All right. Sorry. Yeah.
I tell Brad, if you hang on for, wait a minute, I was just gonna check. Oh, okay, no, never mind. It was the spell casting time was like an hour, so never mind.
So
I don't say anything.
Okay. Long story short, what do you do?
I'll walk up to the building.
Yeah.
Take a look through the windows.
Okay.
I try to keep like about 40 feet of distance.
Okay, so you stay a little bit behind
Yeah, same
the
here.
others. Okay. So
Yeah.
spellcasters behind it. Yeah.
I march up to it, to the first obvious thing that comes to that catches my eyes. If it's the dead horse, or maybe there's someone.
Okay, so Joel goes up front to the horse. Morris tries to get a peek in the window. Who was the third one who who goes close and doesn't keep too much of distance?
I wanted to check out the horse too.
Okay. So for the three of you, can the three of you give me perception checks, please? That lag is really weird. Okay.
Is
No,
it
it's
because if you activate the visual dice, the 3D dice?
Oh yeah.
you're rolling, you see a die rolling all the time?
Yeah.
I don't see that. I mean, if you enjoy it, sure, it doesn't matter too much.
I mean, it's not that thrilling.
It's just I have to wait
The best part of the evening.
So basically, I just have to wait I have to wait a minute each time a second each time you roll.
No, I can disable them.
Yeah. It doesn't.
It's not. It's easier for my graphics card too.
Okay. So for Brad, as you approach the horse, you see that it has bite marks, and it's missing one leg, and something has chewed into the side of its stomach. And Harold, as you approach the window, before you get closer, you hear voices from inside. But what are your languages? I'm sorry, I'm clicking on your character sheet for a second.
Just common and dwarf.
Okay. No, it's you probably, it's something more along the lines like goblinoid or greenskinned. Yeah, you hear some babbling like that coming from inside, but you are still a few steps away from the entrance.
I'm gonna stop in my tracks and hold up my hand, to everyone to stop.
Okay.
Well, wasn't even moving, but it did.
Yeah. But, don't make noises. That's it.
So you put your finger on your lips.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna gesture to everyone to come closer, but very quietly, I guess.
Okay. So yeah, you have the picture of the building. How do you want to approach the building?
I'll be next to the corner, next to the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the left side, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you gesture to the others?
I will do the shh
Okay.
with my finger over my mouth, and also the come here.
Okay. So what do you get over to him, or do you do something else for the others?
I noticed this. I do approach, but I still I stay about 20 feet from the opening towards the this
Okay.
side.
I mean, you can actually. I mean, it's not a precise battle map, but you can place your token if you talk about that.
Yeah. Where is my token?
Okay. Sure. Where do the others
There
go?
we go.
Just okay.
How
Let's assume the horse
how
is
can I
here.
add my token?
The horse was a little bit there. Now you have even more place if you want to keep your distance or something.
Perfect.
The horse was further to the south, a little bit away of the immediate area of the inn. So.
Where are the tokens?
Yeah.
You click on the name of your character, but you hold it down and drag it onto the battlefield.
From the sidebar on the right side at the
Yes.
top, you'll have his chat, and then the next one will be journal. Click that.
Oh, damn it! Yeah, you have to do that.
And
you
specifically
drag it
name, like Thor
Okay.
said, I don't think you can pull the picture. It has to be like
Nah.
from the
Right,
maybe,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, thank you.
Hey,
Perfect.
gang's all here.
So Harold snuck up and like into the dead angle to the side of the door, and he's like motion you to come closer and be quiet. What do you guys do?
open my eyes really wide and like look into this and make like gestures that no can do and point at my chain armor and my clanky weapons and my
Okay.
like
Okay, point at
assuming it's has to be really quiet, really fast, like and no.
I mean, Harold is standing there with basically kind of the same armor you have.
Tiptoe.
Right, that's the thing.
So we
Still.
can assume that they haven't heard us yet.
Yeah,
Sure.
yes.
Assume whatever you want.
Yes, I mean it's reasonable to assume that
Sure.
they didn't react yet. So
Sure. I just say yes.
do we?
Alright.
Does this house have a back entrance? Can we see that?
I don't know. You're standing in front of the house. I'm asking you what you do. Do you go around the house?
So one of the sneaky dudes. Oh, we don't have a
No,
sneaky dude, right?
Okay.
the
Look,
windows.
you don't have to.
Maybe the naked elf can peek around the corner.
Okay.
Yeah,
You don't have to
No,
discuss.
I do it myself.
What does your character do?
I am moving like so.
And checking for a back entrance.
As quietly as I can
Okay. Perfectly reasonable.
I'm trying to keep a distance.
Who was that?
Me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what does Helga do?
I'd move up a little bit, but not so far.
Okay, so
I'll
about
move
there,
up.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And damn it, still trouble with all those names.
Yeah.
Eric, what does Eldarin do?
The windows, were they barred? Is there like is there a way to like see into the house, or is everything like sealed up?
So the door is actually wide open and it looks like partially broken. It's like swinging. One of the windows is barred while the other one is also destroyed and like broken open. But it's like, yeah.
So would it be possible to toss a dwarf through the window?
Why do you always have to toss the dwarf? Okay. I mean, it's
you
can.
So yes,
you can certainly try.
My background is a soldier and officer, so I'm experienced in stuff like that.
Sure. So what do you in stuff like that, like throwing people? Okay. Anyway, I was asking. Yeah, like you can certainly try to throw somebody. But anyway, I was wondering, what does Eldarin do?
Yes, I'm going to throw down some mage armor on myself.
Okay.
Using a spell slot, and then I'm going to move up towards the edge of the door, and I want to try and carefully look inside and see what I can see inside of the house.
Okay.
Kind of like stopping the door with my hand, just trying to hold it.
Do I see a back door? No.
Okay, no, I was asking everybody what you do. Now I'm telling you what everybody sees, and then we go in the next iteration of that. So, Actually, the building, as I said, you can discern that it has been like reinforced and apparently built to maybe withhold an attack of bandits or something. Actually, it has no back door and like no windows on the ground floor, only some windows in the first floor. That's what you see back there. So for Eldarin, can you give me another perception check, please?
Yes. Perception is right
Oh no,
there.
sorry, Harold.
Oh,
Damn it, I'm so sorry. I mixed you up. Harold is standing right there.
Oh, that's wrong.
Harold, can you
There we
give me
go.
a perception? Okay, so yeah, you can. There is like a bit of a chatter between those, and then you make out a little bit of a deeper voice with more like a harsher commanding tone. And for Eldarin, I was going to ask you for a stealth check.
yep.
Ooh,
Also,
perfect.
Ooh,
So,
nice.
apparently, like the remainder of the door that's like flailing around, gives you pretty good cover. And so you see there are a bunch of people lying all over the floor. There obviously has been a fight. Tables are overturned, chairs are broken. It smells of blood. It smells of decomposing meat, flesh.
Ooh.
But over all those dead bodies, you you see 4 goblins, but you also there are like several rooms in the ground floor, and as far you can see 4 goblins going around, and 2 of them are currently checking the pockets of some of the dead people. Another one is like standing behind the counter and going through the shelves and like looking for something.
all right. I whisper to it's
Harold is next to you.
yeah, Harold. Next Harold for sure. All right. We have some goblins inside and a lot of dead bodies.
Okay.
I'm trying to move closer to the guys next to the door.
Just wondering, Dorch, guidance has a verbal component. Is it like loud?
I would say you can try to whisper it, but there might be a chance that somebody hears you depending on the circumstances.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay, so you catch up with the others. Okay, yeah. Brad, what are you doing, by the way?
I'm looking like a question mark, and I'm starting to wave my hands above my head, like to the left and right, trying to get attention, trying to understand what's going on. Should I be quiet or not? And also at the same time, like my hands are clanging a little.
Okay, and yeah, behind Brad, you can actually you can't see your. So you see your halfling friend or your halfling contractor. He's just standing in the middle of the road and just like looking terrified and worried and like frozen on the spot. Okay, what do you guys do?
So
I wanna walk up to Brad, Joel, and
Okay.
inform him that I just looked inside and there are dead bodies and goblins hanging out.
Did it look like the goblins are they the reason for this? They're the bad guys? I asked.
I'd say, judging from because I'm assuming, did I see anything on the horse when I walked up to the house? I didn't, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I went over that. Basically, you rolled terrible. The horse had like terrible wounds. It had a missing leg and stuff. But yeah, that was what you saw at the horse.
All right.
Yeah, looks like it.
Well, I'm not sure the goblins are just